Hey, Kimosabi here, and an update on the anatomy of a crash. What kind of a crash is this, man? That doesn't look like no crash to me. It's definitely a nice V-shaped recovery. What does that mean for now? Nothing yet, because you haven't broken all-time highs. This definitely made it to an area of interest on previous videos that I've shown. I think the anatomy of a crash part 1 and 2 kind of gave context for the potential of a topping area here. But that's a nice rally. That's a nice recovery. And you're closing a daily candle higher than there. So that kind of says that, hey, buy the higher low. You can definitely manage risk off of this 4,800 area. If you break below that, that's what spells the real trouble, in my opinion. You did take all this liquidity here, so this can just chop in a range for the next, couple months, or it's about to break the highs again. And I did see a pattern on the monthly chart that suggests that that is possible. So zooming out to the monthly chart here, seeing the pattern kind of ABC up here. Well, let me draw it out. On a closing basis here, you got a very nice ABC pattern. And on the monthly closes, this does match this. So from this perspective, what I would need to see is another monthly candle green pushing up above all-time highs. And that would suggest that the pattern is about to repeat all of this up to here. And that would take all the way into the end of the year, if not beyond it. It should accelerate a little faster, but it might not. It might take however many candles this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 candles up from here, counting this one, so 9 more candles. That brings you into early 2026. And it would just be a hold above all-time high and then up thrust up to just above 7,000, which I think Crypto Cobra had the same target, had a target up there of 7,000. So that fits, and maybe we're doing an extension of this cycle, and it's more the 18.6-year cycle that extends into 2026. If you follow Phil Anderson's work, that suggests that it is a possibility that we are going to repeat this from here. On a closing basis, it looks good. That was a very nice buyback on this monthly wick before. Well, we only got 8 days left on this current one, and we've got some nice price action coming there. So maybe we get some kind of scare coming, and you buy 50% of that wick at previous support. Price target should be somewhere around 5,200. That might be a great buying opportunity. Let's measure it and get an exact price on just that wick, and we'll measure. So that's 51.81 is 50% of that wick. And then we mark it off right there. And like I always do in my updates, I suggest that those are strong buyers down there underneath here. We should not get back down into the bottom portion of that wick. We should stay above the halfway point of that. So that would be, your previous supports acting as support again. Break down below that wick, and I'd say we're in for some pretty big trouble. Daily chart. This looks like a very nice rally. Let's see how far it extended. Yeah, got into that pocket of the 1-to-1 to the 1,272. So that is technically a corrective target. Let's see the retrace from the high to low. See where we're at. Hit the 886. That would be an area for a reversal. That's a really good area. You got to think just like buying opportunities, selling opportunities kind of work the same. You want a discount rate for what you're going for. And to see that similar thing, you can just invert the chart and say, hey, is this a buy setup or a sell setup? This could be, breaking up and coming back and back testing this area, and then you start a little uptrend from here. This would be maximum profit potential. If this is going to be a range, you're kind of at the upper portion of the range. There is a little bit more liquidity, a little bit higher at 6,030 or so. So maybe we get a wick up there and then reject. I can't say either way here. I mean, the pattern, this might be complete right here. We might be repeating that little stuff there and then spike the all-time high. That may actually complete the rally. But just like trying to buy the chart, you're looking at it the same way. If you break out and you're easing up on a potential breakout here, after back testing a low, you break out. Maybe that goes further. Maybe we're about to have something happen. But try to stay optimistic. But this is definitely discount area for shorts. Yeah, break down below that, maybe back test it. That might be all you get. So we'll see the crash if it does happen. A lot of weird things happening in the bond market worldwide. I mean, Japan, they've got problems with their bond market. The U.S. doesn't look much better. I think Germany was having issues. Nobody wants to buy the sovereign debt anymore. People are kind of staying away from it. And supposedly that was the news that pushed the market down today. I don't really follow the news. I follow what the charts are doing. And right now, this just looks like it's grabbing liquidity right here, and it's about to push up again. I'd say if this breaks down further, you're going to be breaking down, close, below 5,600 or something like that. You might really start capitulating down here to these other targets, and maybe for the buy setup around here, around the previous lows, take all that liquidity, see if you get a bigger bounce out of the cycle low, and then be optimistic, and then definitely manage risk off that low, because the last crash back in 1929, that's how it happened. It just broke below that low, and it was a quick ride down 50% from the all-time high, which would put this price somewhere around $3,200, something like that. So that's the update of the not so crashy crash. Found that monthly chart very interesting, the way you had the buyback candle on that. So wanted to update that hey, could be okay for markets for the time being, maybe until the end of the year, if that wick holds, if those lows hold. You might have a buying opportunity, and maybe you do make new all-time highs, and that will be your blow off. And from there, we could probably expect some pretty bad things. That's the update for now. Good luck and good night.